all I want to say is start. Kindness begins at home, and start that kindness at home. Just let us learn to, when someone criticizes us and says that we don't look in a certain way, we can be kind to ourselves to the point that we don't repeat the statements of that person to ourselves and tell ourselves, oh, yeah, that person was right. Man, I ain't shit. I ain't shit. Like, nah. Gratitude Thursdays. Maria on the mic. Yo. Yo. Gratitude galore. That is how we roll. Yo. 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 Grateful for all, even when it's small. Yo. 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 Blessings some more. Gratitude in store. Yo. 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 Gratitude galore. Welcome aboard. Yo. Yo. Welcome aboard. Hey, what's up, Gratitude Buddies? It's your girl Maria back with another episode. And as you can tell from my voice, the flu has caught up with me. But that did not stop me from recording this episode for you. And if this is your first time here, welcome to our little family. This is the Gratitude Galore podcast, where we encourage one another slowly and progressively to apply gratitude to deal with daily challenges. And today we'll be discussing a very important aspect of our being, and we'll be learning about why we are ungrateful for our bodies, how we are ungrateful for our bodies, and how we can be more grateful for our bodies. And you might want to tune in until the end to have a sneak peek of my new gratitude journal. I decided to get a new one, and also to learn about the weekly activity. So make sure you tune in until the end. And now, buddies, I want us to take a moment and think about all the good things that our bodies do for us. And in my case, I will say my body defines me. It's what makes me me. It helps me to move around. It helps me to do basically everything I need to do in my life. I wouldn't function without my body. And even though our bodies are important to us, even though our bodies help us do everything we are doing, it's very hard to love our bodies. It's very hard to appreciate our bodies. And that's why you'll hear statements like, I hate my body. I don't like how short I am. I don't like how tall I am. Like, those statements will prevail in an environment where we don't love our bodies. And I really don't blame us for not loving our bodies. And it's really a messed up situation. It's a fucked up situation, because there are various contributing factors in our environment, in our surroundings, that make it difficult for us to love our bodies. And they include societal expectations. There is this expectation in society that a male body is supposed to look like this, a female body is supposed to look like this. For instance, a man should be tall, should be dark, should have beards. A chick should have a big ass, should have a small waist, should have big boobs. And these expectations, when we don't meet them as the people in society, it really makes us feel like, well, maybe my body is not good enough, my body does not fit the standards, and it will be hard to appreciate all the good things that our bodies do for us. So another reason why we might be ungrateful for our bodies is body dissatisfaction, where we don't feel confident in our bodies. And this might arise from previous instances of bullying, or being told your body is not good enough, all those negative statements. So yeah, they build up, and in the long run, we're just dissatisfied with our body to the point that we don't see anything good about it, even though there's a lot to appreciate about our bodies. And we might also be ungrateful for our bodies if we've gone through a traumatic experience, and mainly if it involves physical abuse, sexual abuse. So, for example, someone got in an accident, they lost labda, they got burned. It will be hard for that person to love their body, to love their new body, because maybe I'm used to my smooth face, and now I have burns all over my face. It will be hard to love myself, and I might be tempted to just be ungrateful, to just see the negative things and the bad things about the situation. And even though even though these things might make us be ungrateful for our bodies, it's really hard to tell. I can't look at someone and say, oh, this person is ungrateful for their bodies, or it's really hard to tell. And but there are some signs to look out for to show that maybe I'm not grateful for my body, or maybe I'm not really dedicating time to love my body. And the signs include if we are abusing our bodies. For instance, if we labda overdose, labda like alcohol, like I take like see how many bottles of alcohol. I'm really not taking care of my body, because I'm kind of abusing it in some way, and it shows. I really don't. I'm really not grateful for having a healthy body. And also another sign is not taking care of our bodies, neglecting our bodies. For instance, not taking a shower, not brushing our teeth, not cleaning our space. And these signs, they don't necessarily mean we are ungrateful for our bodies, but if they are accompanied with a history of self body dissatisfaction, then it might be a ripple effect. And also another sign we need to look out for is comparing ourselves to others. If I'm in a constant comparison, looking at other people's bodies, thinking, wow, I wish I had a body like that, I wish my ass was like that, I wish my boobs were like that, it will really lead to shows I really don't appreciate what I have. I really don't acknowledge that I'm a package. So I have to compare with others and admire others' bodies while I have mine that is perfectly okay. Yeah, so if we find ourselves comparing ourselves exceedingly, then maybe that's a sign maybe we are not grateful enough for our bodies. And if even if we find ourselves in a situation where, well, I society has really influenced me, I've been through trauma, and I suffer from body dissatisfaction. Maybe I was bullied, maybe someone told me my body was not good enough. Don't worry, that that we can change that situation. It really doesn't have to remain like that. And I only have one tip to give. And if we find ourselves struggling with being grateful for our bodies, the number one tip that we can apply is kindness. I cannot insist the importance of being kind to our own bodies, because I'm thinking, if someone comes to me and they're like, oh, you're so thin, you need to eat, you like, and then I internalize it like, fuck, I'm so thin, why am I so thin, I need to add some weight. And what does that do? Just think about it. What does it do? Like, I someone has told me that, someone has commented negatively about my body, and then I keep telling myself the same thing. I think that does not solve the situation. It only makes the situation worse, because I'm kind of encouraging the thought. I'm telling the person, you're right. Man, I need to eat. I'm so thin. Like, the world is so cruel. Like, currently we live in a cruel world where people don't know how to mind their business, where someone can just come and point out your insecurity right in your face. Like, for instance, maybe I don't like being this skinny. Maybe I struggle adding weight. And then you come and tell me, where be the umekonda, si ukule. And thinking back, or thinking about these situations, I feel like being kind is the only way. Because I remember from a personal experience, I used to be big. I can say I used to be big. And when I was big, people used to be like, oh, you're so fat. Oh man, your tummy is so big. You need to go to the gym. How do you manage that body? I wonder how you will look when you give birth. And when I became skinny, people were like, umekonda sana. And I remember this one friend was like, we kwani uko na ukimwi nini? And shit, those things used to get at me like crazy. Like, I used to be like when someone tells me like my stomach is big, I'm like, fuck, now I'm ugly because I have a big stomach. I'm ugly because I'm fat. I don't work out. I'm ugly because my body is not the best. Like, and when I was thin, I was like, maybe I need to add more weight. I'm so skinny. I don't have an ass. I lost all my boobs. As in, thinking back, I wish I was kinder to myself. I wish I was like, fuck what a nigga say, or fuck what the rest say. I love myself. I appreciate my body. And I wish I was kind, because if I was kind, then maybe I would be loving my body more than I do right now. I would be more appreciative of my body. And I just want to tell you, my buddies, if you struggle with appreciating your body, if you struggle with loving your body, no matter how you look, no matter if you're tall, if you're short, if you're big, if you're small, if you have one eye, if you have one ear, it doesn't really matter. All I want to say is start. Kindness begins at home, and start that kindness at home. Just let us learn to, when someone criticizes us and says that we don't look in a certain way, we can be kind to ourselves, to the point that we don't repeat the statements of that person to ourselves and tell ourselves, oh, yeah, that person was right, man, I ain't shit. I ain't shit. Like, nah. We can just be kind, and just be kind. Tell ourselves those kind words, and imagine if we are talking to a friend. A friend has come to us and told us, yeah, this person has told me this. We respond in the same way we would respond, in the same kindness we will respond. And if we are kind to our bodies, in the long run, it will be easier to love our bodies. Because if I'm kind to my body, no matter what someone tells me, I believe that I have a good body. Even if it's not good to you, it's not good to society, in my mind, I know I have a good body. So if we are kind to ourselves, we will learn to know that our bodies are good, no matter how they look, no matter what society expects them to look. And on that note, buddies, I want us to go to the weekly activity. But before we do that, let's recap last week's activity. And we were supposed to get a gratitude journal, and I got mine. It's right here. So it's basically a notebook, a hardcover notebook. It's from Office Point. I actually got it from the supermarket. And I got some stickers as well to just spice up the journal, to make it like unique to me and all. So yeah, this is where I'll be documenting all the activities, all the weekly activities we'll be doing. And On this week's activity, we'll begin with a very simple activity, which is writing one kind thing per day about our bodies. And it can be anything. It can be whether you like, you can say, for example, you can say, I love my eyes for enabling me to see around. I love my legs for enabling me to walk around. Yeah, we just write one kind thing about our bodies, and I believe that that this activity will contribute to us eventually being kind to our bodies, to the point that outside energy does not affect us at all. And I am so glad you could tune in to this episode until the end. And if you enjoyed, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow, and no, make sure you subscribe and you like the video. You can even comment, and you can view the blog version of this episode in the link attached in the comment section. And I want to wish you all a lovely week filled with love and gratitude. And until next week, gratitude buddies. Bye bye.